All right, everybody, welcome to this virtual summit here. For those of you that are on live, welcome. We are talking today about a foolproof email sequence to help you connect with more leads and customers. So this is going to be a cool one. For those of you who are here live, what I'd like to know is, do you currently have an email sequence that is working well for you now? So if you want to just drop that in the chat, I'd love to hear a little bit more about it. This is something that we want to improve. I know it's something that we worked on for a long time. We're gonna work it out live right now. One of the things that we did since this is Dallas Fort Worth HubSpot User Group, that we've come together. We've come together online. I'd love to hear from you guys about what's working. I'm hearing from Monica. Hey, Monica. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Boom. That's exactly what I hear from a lot of people. And, to be honest, that is what's going to happen no matter what. I mean, you're going to have something here that is not going to work every time. Not every email sequence is going to be a good one. There's no question about that. But what we can do is we can try. We can do our best. And so that's what we're going to try and do here today. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do something really kind of fun. And we're going to build something together. So this is, I use a Mac, and I use Ulysses. It's my favorite writing client. Ulysses allows me to just have a blank page. I can write, and I don't have to worry about being in any software. And it uses the markdown format. So I can say email 1, and then it sort of formats on the fly. Subject line and body. So I'm actually going to copy this down a couple of times. And I'm doing this live here because this is the absolute best way to sit here and plan out email. If you go and you plan out your email in your email tool, you're going to be thinking a lot more about how the email tool works than you are about how the email really reads on the other side. This is really all that matters, is what does that subject line say and what does the body say? I will do this. I will go ahead and hop over here real quick before we get started to my inbox. So let's take a look at the inbox. This is the promotions tab, where most marketing and sales emails end up if they are not sent just one-to-one direct. Who checks their promotions tab or their clutter in their Outlook or in their Gmail? Anybody spend a lot of time in here? You can see that I haven't checked it today. I haven't clicked on anything. Got some good stuff in here. I love my my Yeti cup. So I'm obviously not opening that email right now. I got my cup right here. There's a lot of good stuff. Quickly each day. Yeah, I'm with you there, Lynn. You sort of scan up and down, and you look at it, and you think, oh, I wonder if there's something in here I should check out. Kind of take a sip, and most of the time it's no. You kind of click through some of this stuff. Yeah, not much here I'm going to mess with, but I will tell you, this is what matters here, right? The sender. So Content Marketing Institute, and that's sort of cut off. And then it's info at Content Marketing Institute. And then there's no picture. If you're in Gmail, having a Google account really matters. Let's look at Amy Porterfield. I believe that she doesn't have a picture either, because it's going from info at amyporterfield.com. And she's one of the social media kind of guru kind of people. Here's Lance from Fort Worth, First United Methodist Church in Fort Worth, where our family goes. Lance is wearing his orange shades, and this is coming from him. It's coming from, and he's got his Google picture. A lot of people don't really think about this, but if you send from an email address that is not associated with a with a real Google account online and it doesn't have a picture, this especially makes a difference on the Google app, on the Gmail app on your phone. The picture shows up right there next to each message. And I'm a lot more likely to click on Lance's email on my phone, where I do a lot of my email processing, than I am in here where it doesn't really show up. But even so, having a picture really matters. And it's coming from him, right? There are some ways to do the name a little bit better than others. So I really like how Zach from the Sales Lion has this here, because he says Zach from the Sales Lion. There's no question about who this is here. And he has a picture. Here's Jack Dixon from Saros. Now, he doesn't have a good picture, but at least I know who it is. Jack from Saros. Zach from the Sales Lion. I like that. It gives you context as to who is sending this email. So these are good examples. So think you could help me out with something real quick? Kind of dig that. So here is an automated email. Now we can see that Gmail's not going to load anything. So this is why I revert to plain text. I love plain text email. Plain text email is going to get a better response every time. I'm not really going to click on display images below because this is not working very well. If you must send an HTML formatted email, then at least make sure your alt text or your file names make sense. Email sig2 larger.jpg doesn't mean anything to me. I don't know if it means anything to you, but let's just ignore that for a moment. Hi, Chris. I've got a small favor to ask. As a member of the Sales Lion Learning community, wanted to make sure you got the most out of your content. Would you be willing to answer a few quick questions with me about your video experience? Now, I downloaded their video script the other day, and this is a part of a sequence that they sent. So I'm loving this. I think that the text in this email is great. This short survey is fine. And what's included in this survey? How does filling it out benefit you? Here's a couple of things that we're going to want to know. If you can do it, here's how you do it. Now, if this were not an HTML formatted email and it were a plain text email, this would look a whole lot better and it would be a whole lot easier. In fact, let's go ahead and see what it's supposed to look like. Well, okay, we got a nice logo. Here's a nice call to action. You know, the HubSpot tool and whatever email tool you use, it may have a call to action tool in it where you've got a graphic, and that's what this is. But it doesn't provide me a whole lot of context. So if you have and I see a hand raised here, if you have a question, you can go ahead and drop it in the chat pane, and I can even bring you on if you'd like to. Then we'll go over it. But I like most about this, except for that fact, is that a lot of people just aren't going to click that. So let's look at some more. Jack from Saros. Same thing. Look at this. This is how all our emails show up if we send it straight out of HubSpot like this. The best Saros experiences delivered to your inbox. Grable.jpg. Check it out. See, this stuff, it doesn't work when you do these designed emails. Have I sold you on this enough? Have I sold you on this enough? Plain text email. Let's see what this is supposed to look like. Oh, okay. Look at all this. This is great. Yeah, but nobody's going to see it. If we do a good enough job of selling why we should want to learn more about any of this, then we might have more success with getting people to pay attention. So that's what we're going to do here. Now, in our thinking about getting an email sequence that's going to work, let's think about the situation that we might be in. Now, provided this is the audience where most folks have an ebook or some sort of lead generation tool out there, one of the best things to do to set up an email sequence is, and really what I'm after here is, the goal is appointments. I can't just say goal is sales, because unless you are an e-commerce company, I want an appointment. Appointment leads to opportunities, and opportunities leads to sales. So if our goal is appointments, email one, and let's just say situation. What I love about this format and planning in this way, what is the situation in which this email would come out? I don't have to dig in and look at the HubSpot tool and see what are the triggers and all that. Let's let the software adapt to us later on and figure it out. If we can't make it work, then we've got to maybe reevaluate. But situation is a brand new contact has downloaded an ebook, white paper, etc. So subject line. Here's that ebook. But first, what's the body? Lynn is saying too many people skip this part, so whatever they try will fail. Guaranteed goal situation. Yeah, these are just pieces of the puzzle, we've got to figure out first. So, hey, they've come in, they downloaded this thing, and now we've got to say, here's that ebook. If on your website you're sending them straight to a copy of the ebook, you may not be capturing what you want. Now, I can argue that the future is publishing all the content on the website and pushing for a downloadable copy and making sure that you're delivering that copy via email. But a lot of folks still have this, so I'm going to sort of give you something to work with here. Here's that ebook, but first, before you download the ebook, I want to tell you why we created it in the first place. Then story. Why did you create that in the first place? We had so many questions coming through about this subject. And to be honest, I love autocorrect. I didn't really have a good enough grasp on it to begin with. What prompted you to download this? Can I ask you a question? So what am I doing here? In this case, I'm going to delay this. Can you reply and let me know? No. So before you download this ebook, I want to tell you why we created it in the first place. Story is really just a placeholder. We had so many questions coming through about this subject, and to be honest, I didn't really have enough grasp on it to begin with. You can expand on your own vulnerability more, but the point is, hey, look, I didn't know enough about this. I wanted to dig in. I wanted to learn more. I was doing so much research, I had to share. So we put a lot of this stuff out here for you. Why did you decide to learn this today? I can tell you why I wanted to learn it, but why did you decide to learn this today? Salutation. And then under that, P.S. Here's the link to download the ebook. We know everybody. And another one to have a conversation with me. So then what you do is here's a link to download the ebook. And then here's another one to have a conversation with me. Now, it'd be really nice if you're using something like Drift, some sort of chat. If you're not using that, you should request a conversation with me. We should get you set up. What this does is it allows you to link to the ebook in the PS, which everybody's going to read, especially in a plain text email just like this. But also, in the same sentence, offering them that conversation because they may be ready. We know that they came in looking for something. They might be ready. We're asking them to reply. Well, why did you come in today? Why are you here? Here's the thing you came for. And by the way, if this is just if you want to have a conversation with me, it's right here. So this is a really nice email, and I've written this email 4 or 5 times for different clients. Probably more than that, but it's evolved over time. So this version of the email 4 or 5 times. But this is an original composition here that because I know what we're trying to accomplish. So you don't have to take and copy and paste this, but if you hit the beats, then you will endear yourself to the person reading it, and you might just get some replies, which starts a dialogue. I've seen some people do things like, hey, let me ask you something. If you clicked on that link on the website, did the technology work? I've seen that. And then it's sort of prompting responses. So this is all about that situation. So a brand new contact has downloaded an ebook or white paper, and boom, here it is. But let me know. So what you can do now is say, I will ask you in a couple of days how you liked it. Give a preview of this. So, how did you like it? So this is not giving really anything away about the subject, but if they read this first email, then they expect that this is coming. And if they can see who it was, then they might open this. And this inspires enough curiosity that you might want to check it out. So how'd you like it? True to my word, I want to make sure you got value from the content. I'm sure I didn't cover everything you had hoped that I would. So what was it? What did I miss? First name. Right? Really, really short, really, really quick. So, how did you like it? Hey, true to my word, I want to make sure you got value from the content. I'm sure I didn't cover everything you'd hoped that I would. So, what was it? What did I miss? Just that. No PS, no junk. That's it. No personalization either. That's the thing. Notice there's no personalization in these. Sometimes personalization looks really stupid. And the reason I say personalization looks stupid is that I noticed that a lot of people fill out forms with lowercase letters. And unless you're going to go upgrade those lowercase first names to uppercase, capital case, whatever it's called, first names, then they're going to know it was just programmatically put in here. Now, I think a lot of people expect that, but might it be different if you just didn't do it? Are they going to even notice? They're not. And they'll only notice that you just plugged in their first name if you did that. So if this doesn't get a reply, then all this is trying to do, all we're trying to do here is start a conversation, right? The goal is appointments, but really the goal, and this is what we're calling the Trojan Horse goal. Start the conversation. What should I make this week? I'm struggling here. What should I make this week? I look to people like you to help me create content that matters in people's work lives. If you have already read my articles on X, Y, and Z, then you know that I care very much about content quality. What can I make for you? What is your biggest struggle at work right now? Full signature. And we're switching back and forth here. Thanks, Lynn. We're switching back and forth here. This is not just the first name. In some cases, we're going to have first name. In some cases, we're going to have just like, thanks, see you later. The full signature, and this should include your booking link. This is all about just getting the right response, prompting a reply. Last one. This is subject line. Here are the best articles. I'm going to expect our weekly update now and no more from me. So I'm moving this back down. So the body, so expect our weekly update now and no more from me. So this is essentially what's called a breakup email, but it's really for an onboarding sequence to a newsletter. So if you have a weekly blog newsletter that's just a blog roundup that's going out, you can just drop them right into that after this. And what this is going to do is it's going to say, it's been real these last few days. I haven't heard from you about your content preferences when I asked before. So I am going to move to sending you a weekly update with our best articles from that week. Here are the best articles from this week. Am I picking up the wrong signal? Did you have something to say? If not, you know where to find me. first and last name. And this is going to be linked to calendar. What's so powerful about this is that you're not putting in all of your branding. You're not putting in all of your logos. You're not putting in your entire signature, company name, your company phone number, all that stuff. You're saying, look, hey, had a good time. It's been a blast, but you're not giving me the feedback I asked for. Did I get that wrong? Did you have something to say? You might get a big response from this email, and you might get somebody that actually picks up a calendar appointment. If we get one of those two outcomes, then we'll be in really, really, really good shape. So starting off, just a recap. Here is the ebook link, but we're stalling for a minute, asking for some feedback. How did you like it? Are you going to tell me how you liked it and what you want? Hey, I really need your help. Tell me what you want this week. And now, and here's the thing. Link one. Yeah, you want to make sure and have some of these in here. Link two. On the third one, you're what am I supposed to be making right now? And then the last one is hey, last one from me. I'm out, changing dealer. We're moving over here to the weekly newsletter. Here's how to find me. Peace out. So, and all of this is in fairly casual language, and yet it's not unprofessional. You can get away with this. This is the kind of email sequence that gets results when people are just hopping on to your email list or just hopping on to your, they just grabbed an ebook. And we know that so many folks are just one and done when it comes to hopping on to your website. They come and get one ebook and then they're done. And we forget to follow up. This can really help. So if you were going to send this out, what would be your name in the sender line? So if you can drop that in the chat pane and let me know, what would be your name in the sender line? We know what the subject line would be. We sort of know what the body would be. And we're not going to mess with the preview text. You can, but I highly suggest that the preview text you just make contextual. We did look at Gmail and we saw you can't really see that. But let me know